The Tiny Teacher. This lesson is from the supplementary reader An Alien Hand, grade 7. Though so very small, the ant is unbelievably intelligent and hardworking. Among the various kinds, the commonest ant is black or red. Ants live in comfortable homes called anthills. Name the smallest insect you have seen and the wisest. Is it the fly? No, it isn't. Is it the mosquito? No, not the mosquito. Then it must be the worm. No, none of these. It is the ant, the commonest, the smallest, but the wisest insect. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue. But people have kept ants as pets and have watched their daily behavior closely. So we know a number of facts about this tiny, hardworking and intelligent creature. Here, in this para, can you name the smallest and the wisest insect? Do you think it is a fly, a mosquito or the worm? None of these. Then which? Yes, it is an ant, the commonest, the smallest, but the wisest insect. You know, people kept ants as pets and have watched their behavior very closely. In this lesson, we will come across a number of important facts about this hardworking and intelligent creature. An ant uses its feelers or antennae to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. Watch a row of ants moving up or down the wall. Each ant greets all the others coming from the opposite direction by touching their feelers. The intelligent ant uses its feelers or antennae to talk or greet one another when they move in a row in opposite direction. There are many kinds of ants. The commonest among them are the black or red ones. We have seen them since we were children, but haven't paid enough attention to them. Where do they live? In their comfortable homes called nests or anthills. Each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lays eggs. Others are nurseries for the young ones called grubs. Here, in this para, the common type of ants are the black or red ones, which we can see inside or near our house. We are seeing the ant from a young age, but we have not noticed their homes, which is called nests or anthills. These anthills has hundreds of little rooms and passages. The queen ant lays eggs in some of these rooms, where the others are nurseries for other young ants which are called grubs. Oh, it sounds great. Workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. Some rooms serve as storehouses for this food. Soldiers have separate barracks. No worker has ever tried to live in a soldier's house. No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. No worker or soldier or cleaner has ever harmed a grub. So, you see, an ant's life is very peaceful. Each does its share of work intelligently and bravely and never fights with other members of the group. Here, in this para, we know about the grubs. But what is special about the reserve quarters of the worker ants? Yes, by the word worker, we can understand that these ants are hardworking and they go in search of food all the time. The food they collect will also be stored in the room which is called storehouses. It's amazing. We have still more information. The soldier ants have separate barracks. That is, a room allotted only for soldier ants. The soldier ants have never gone in search of food and the worker ants have never tried to live in the soldier's barracks. A surprising information is that no worker or cleaner or soldier has ever harmed a grub, that is a young ant. The ant really helps us to learn more good habits. Not only humans, ants also have a kind heart to take care of their young ones. That's why ants' life is peaceful. Each ant does its share of work intelligently and bravely, and a good quality is that they don't fight with other members of the group. From this, we can learn how to share our work among one another and do it bravely and perfectly, and also be friendly without fighting with one another. The queen is the mother of the entire population of the colony. It lives for about 15 years. It has a pair of wings but bites them off after its wedding flight. This flight takes place on a hot summer day. The queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant or drone high up in the air. On its return to earth, it gets rid of its wings and then does nothing but lays eggs. Here is an informative fact. The queen ant is the mother for the entire population of the colony. The lifespan is about 15 years. It has a pair of wings, but it bites them off after the wedding flight, which takes place on a hot summer day. The queen ant leaves the nest and goes out to meet the male ant or drone high up in the sky. When it returns to the earth, it bites its wings and then only lay eggs. Eggs hatch and grubs come out. Soldiers guard them. Workers feed and clean them and also carry them about daily for airing, exercise and sunshine. 2 or 3 weeks later, grubs become cocoons and lie without food or activity for 3 weeks more. Then the cocoons break and perfect ants appear. Now it's time for teaching and training. New ants learn their duties from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. After a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. Here, the eggs hatch and grubs, that is, the tiny young ones, come out. The soldiers guard them. Workers feed them and clean them and also carry them for airing, that is, to get air, for exercise and sunshine. 2 to 3 weeks later, the grubs becomes cocoons. These cocoons just lie without any movements for the next 3 weeks. Then the cocoons break and the ants appear. Now it's time for training. The new ants get trained and take their duties as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. and move to the big world for work. An anthill is a home not only for ants but also for some other creatures, beetles, lesser breeds of ants and the green fly. Why do ants want these alien creatures to live in their nests? For several reasons. Some give off smell pleasant to the ants' senses. Now let us see how the anthill help other insects. The anthill is not only home for ants but beetles, lesser breeds of ants and greenfly. You may think why the ants allow them. Here comes the answer. Some give fragrance to the ants' senses. Others give sweet juices, and some are just pets or playthings like cats and dogs to human beings. The greenfly is the ant's cow. The ants train it to give honeydew, like milk, with a touch of their antenna. They milk it just as we milk the cow. Have humans learned as much as ants have? Perhaps they have, but they haven't put their learning to good use. They may still learn a few things from this tiny teacher: hard work, sense of duty and discipline, cleanliness, care for the young ones, and above all, a firm loyalty to the land where they live. Here, few other insects give sweet juices and some are pets for them to play like how we play with dogs and cats. The green fly is like the cow which gives milk. The ant train it to give honeydew, which is like milk, with a touch of their antenna. They milk it just as humans milk the cow. When we compare humans with ants, they have learnt much like the ants, but they have not applied the learning to a good use. Humans can learn few more things from this tiny teacher, like hard work, sense of duty and discipline, cleanliness, care for young ones, and finally a good support to one another. Like the ant, I wish all of you to follow the above good habits and live peacefully. Let us follow this tiny teacher in our day-to-day life. Good luck!